Redverge.
If you really want to know about evil, then watch this video till the end. You will learn what evil means. This is a true story. In this story, we will talk about Jessie B. She was a bright and intelligent girl. She was born on the 22nd of March, 1994, in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. From a very young age, people started to notice how smart she was. While other kids in her class studied and memorized their assignments, Jessie memorized way more than she had to. Her teachers were impressed by her. They thought she was an outstanding student. She was always at the top of her class. Everyone loved her, not just her teachers, but also her classmates and all the adults who knew her. She was an extraordinary girl. Jessie was also passionate about music. She learned to play the piano and loved to sing, act, and perform. Music was her everything. It was her life, her happiness, and her world. And if there was anything that made her sad, it was seeing injustice around her. She hated it. She was a fighter. She stood up for what she believed in, like human rights, women's rights, and fighting for what was right. She wanted everyone to be treated fairly. She was an amazing girl, wasn't she? But let's go back to Jessie's teenage years. At the time, she was studying at Lovejoy High School. She was doing well in school and was also becoming a great musician. She was planning for her future. But one thing she was sure about was that she wanted to study at the University of Georgia. All her life, Jessie dreamed of being a lawyer. So after graduating from high school in 2012, she started studying law at the University of Georgia. Her parents were so proud of her. They always supported her dreams and encouraged her to follow them. As a college student, Jessie was very busy. She had to study hard to keep good grades, and she also wanted to practice music, so she worked part-time as a waitress in a restaurant. She had a lot of responsibilities. Sometimes it was difficult for her, but she never gave up. She was determined to make her dreams come true. In 2012, something happened that changed Jessie's life forever. One day, while she was at work, she met a man named Joseph Blaze. He was kind and friendly, and they quickly became good friends. Joseph was a talented musician, and he taught Jessie how to play the violin. She loved it, and she practiced every day. She was very good at it, and she also started giving private lessons in singing, piano, and violin. She was just 18 years old, and she was already a great musician. The following year, in 2013, Jessie was still studying at the university. She was trying to balance her studies and her music career. She was also still working as a waitress. But things were getting harder for her. She was tired of working so much and not having enough time for herself. So she decided to quit her job as a waitress and focus on her studies and music. Around this time, many of Jessie's old friends from high school also started studying at the University of Georgia. One of them was her close friend, Daniel Bartlett. They were happy to see each other again and started spending a lot of time together. They talked about their dreams and their passions, and they both loved music. So they started making music together. Then came the 14th of July, 2013. For Jessie, it was the most important day of her life. It was the day of her first public performance as a violinist. She had been practicing for months, and she was ready. She played beautifully. Everyone in the audience was impressed by her talent. She felt proud and happy. After her performance, she went to a bar with her friends. They celebrated her success, and they had a great time. But Jessie noticed two strange men at the bar staring at her. She didn't know why. She asked her friends, but they said maybe they just liked her performance. She didn't think much about it and continued to enjoy her evening. Later that night, she went home and went to sleep. Before going to bed, she wrote in her personal diary about the two strange men she had seen at the bar. She didn't think much of it, but she wanted to remember everything that happened that day. She closed her diary and went to sleep. The next morning, her mother went to work. When she returned home, she was worried because Jessie was not answering the door. She called her daughter's name, but there was no answer. She started to get scared and went to Jessie's room. She opened the door and saw her daughter lying on the bed. She was cold and blue. Her mother screamed for help, but there was nothing anyone could do. Jessie was dead. When the police arrived, they found signs of struggle in the house, but there were no signs of forced entry. This meant that Jessie had opened the door herself, and the police found a rope tied around her neck and wrists. It looked like she had been strangled. They also found that someone had poured a liquid over her body to destroy the evidence. This was a terrible crime, and everyone in the city was shocked. Meanwhile, days before this terrible event, A woman named Melissa had been attacked while walking her dog. She had been strangled too. She managed to fight back, and the attacker ran away. She described the attacker to the police. She said it was a white male, 18 to 20 years old, heavy set, about 210 pounds, with blonde hair. She said he was wearing shorts, and she could see some tattoos on him. She also saw the car he was driving. It was a Dodge Caravan. The police checked the area and found a similar car, and memorized the license plate number, but they didn't find any leads. However, a patrolling officer remembered seeing the same car and knew the license plate number. They traced the car and found an elderly couple. Their son matched Melissa's description exactly. His name was Daniel Bartlett. Daniel was called in for questioning. At first, he seemed confident, but the investigators had a theory that he was involved in Jessie's murder. Daniel tried to lie to them, but they knew he was guilty. He finally confessed to attacking Melissa. He said he didn't mean to hurt her, but the police knew he was lying. He found scratches and a deep wound on his arm. He tried to say he fell down, but the police knew that wasn't true. He didn't even have a job. How could he have possibly injured himself so badly at work? Daniel couldn't keep up with his lies. He admitted he attacked Melissa, but he denied any involvement in Jessie's murder. During the investigation, Daniel told the officers that Jessie had been raped and murdered, but the police hadn't released that information to the public yet. How did he know, unless he was involved? They searched his computer and found that he had been researching serial killings, murders, and rapes. They also found a film on his computer that showed a girl being strangled, tied up, and killed in the same way as Jessie.
It was like he had planned it.
After finding all this evidence, the police arrested Daniel and charged him with Jessie's murder. He was taken to court. Daniel tried to say that he was innocent, but the evidence against him was too strong. He had attacked Melissa, and the film he made was proof that he killed Jessie. The jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was so sorry for what he did, but it was too late. He had taken an innocent life. One day, Daniel asked for parole, but he was denied. The parole board said he was too dangerous to be released. He said he had committed 2 brutal attacks in just 3 days. He was a potential serial killer. The truth is that this evil man, Daniel, was a monster. He took 2 innocent lives and planned to hurt more women. Fortunately, he is still behind bars and cannot hurt anyone else. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive notifications about our latest content. We'd appreciate it if you could show your support by liking this video. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us.